Hello and welcome to the Disconnected Gamers Podcast, where we reconnect with life and gaming. I'm one of your hosts, Andrew, also known as J-Bond. With me, as always.
Yo, what do, man? It's your boy Mike.
Mm-hmm. It's your boy, Mike. So, we get all the normal stuff out of the way. Episode 70, 70.
Mhm.
Episode 68 is still pending some approval, but 1 out of 2 has already said yes, so
It's
50% of the
better than
way
nothing.
there. 50% of the way there, and the information in that episode is super relevant regardless of the time it releases, so just hang on and you'll get that cool interview.
Such
Um,
a good episode.
yeah, it was pretty rad. So, as far as the timeline goes, today is Sunday, May 29th, and it's nighttime,
Actually, at
so
least we're actually recording on a Sunday this
yeah,
time.
that's true. Well, and this is the
Not
new
like Sunday two.
1 week on, 1 week off, right? So
Oh, right.
next week there won't be a podcast, and then the week after that there
Then
should be a
there should be
podcast,
one in
and then I think the week after that is when I'm in California
California. It's
for
correct.
for E3 wedding and seeing an old friend.
I wish I could go, but I had to start my new position at work.
Yo, congrats! You got the thing, right?
Yeah,
So wait,
dog.
are you now? Wait, so wait. Okay, wait, hold
We're
on.
slanging milk this time.
Are you the head? Is it the kitchen thing or the manager thing?
No. Okay, yeah. So there's another manager that's moving to a different department. So he's going to be the head, and I'll be the second under him, I guess.
Cool.
So, like, it's supposed to be 40 hours, somewhat better pay, and won't have to work like stupid hours, as far as I know,
Right.
like I do. So,
Noise.
I'm
Congrats,
excited.
bruh. I'm
Yeah,
still pending a background check um, on my Apple job extravaganza. The fun thing is that I can talk about it now, but then I think once I actually get the job, they make you sign like an
and it's
NDA,
an
so you can't
hush,
talk about it at
hush,
all. Um,
hush.
cool. So let's So now that I think I've caught everybody up on everything. I mean, and just like, I don't know if anybody follows me on Twitter. If you follow me on Twitter, you've been seeing
You
some.
should be
I've
up
been
there.
in
Yeah, you should be
I've been in
updated.
the midst of going through some ish, um, in my personal life, and I don't usually really talk about it. I just vent when I get really frustrated. So if you've seen stuff about that on Twitter, then that's an indication that things are going wrong, and that's why we switched to the every other week for the time being, as I kind of manage a bunch of shit. But yeah, let's push that out of the way, and let's talk about an article from Arthur Gies, guys. Gies, Gies, guys. I don't know. From Polygon.
Mm-hmm.
Sources: Xbox One getting huge upgrade in 2017. Slim model later this year. I
Woo!
like that the tagline on this is the quote Xbox One 2
Yeah,
will be more than 4 times as powerful as the Xbox One. Now that's just that line alone is interesting because if the
that's
Xbox One is getting an upgrade, it's the same thing we talked about with the
with
PS4,
the
the
PS4.
PS4K, right? Like am I going to have to get a new Xbox now? Um
Yep.
but so it's like I'll jump into this and I'll read you the I'll quickly
Let's
bang out the
see.
first paragraph, I guess, and the second paragraph, maybe. Microsoft has 2 new Xbox consoles on the horizon, according to reports on Kotaku that Polygon has corroborated with its own sources. These sources also told Polygon that one of these new consoles will be over 4 times more powerful than the current Xbox One, and that the announcement at E3 was triggered by, among other things, a faster than expected timeline for Sony's own upgraded PlayStation 4. The other console the other Xbox console, a slimmed down version of the current hardware will also be getting a redesigned controller. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say
Hmm.
I'm disappointed by the last line in that. I don't mind that you're slimming down.
Redesign controller or
Yeah,
the
I
slim
don't like.
down?
Yeah, I like the control. I actually like the Xbox controller more
Yeah,
than the
no,
PS4
it's
controller.
I
It's more
same
comfortable.
a lot more comfortable.
So like, I don't
And no
know what you
stupid
would do
touch
to
the head,
redesign it.
right?
And I hope that the texture stays the same because it's actually the texture of the controller that I like the most. My hands don't seem to like sweat and
Yeah,
get like it doesn't get like as greasy I guess would be the
Yeah,
thing, right? Like if
it's
you're like
true.
snacking on some stuff while you're playing games. My PS4 controller's like fucking shines.
Oh yeah, like the
Um,
back sticker's gone because of
yeah,
all the
mine's
sweat.
totally gone. Yeah, exactly. It's just white.
Yeah, but yeah, no,
Um,
that's weird.
yeah,
Are they gonna
like
make it smaller,
well,
bigger?
my thing is that if they're gonna make it
What's
smaller, are they
off?
gonna put the power supply inside the damn box this time, or are they gonna just
Oh yeah,
is the redesigned controller gonna have a battery pack instead of
true.
using double A's?
Using place.
So,
Hmm.
let me
Guess we'll find out.
yeah, I was gonna say let me skip down. Tom Warren at Polygon's sister site The Verge reports that the console will be 40% smaller than the current model and will likely include 4K support,
Mm.
for which will be for video content specifically.
Okay, that's what I
Yeah,
thought.
so it's again like you're
That's
just
what I
making
thought.
it 4K for like Netflix and stuff, which I'm not saying is
Yeah.
bad, but
No.
I don't care. I really don't. I don't have a 4K TV.
Yeah.
We've been down this
Exactly.
road before.
Hmm.
But I mean, it's one of those things. I feel like they're all just like, crap. We need to future-proof our tech, and so they're just releasing all this stuff
Trying to appeal to the.
to the masses.
Yeah. I've got a 4K TV. Let me go 4K system now.
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
I spent like $4,000 on this fucking TV, so I need something that actually is 4K. Because
Right?
basically anything right now that's any
It's
4K TV is just upscaling it. It's not actually
yeah.
4K.
It's not actually 4K. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. It's codenamed Scorpio. Xbox Scorpio.
Yo.
Unlikely to
Cooler
be
than.
released until 2017.
Mm.
Wait, cooler than what? Neo?
Yeah. Scorpio's a cooler name than Neo.
I mean, I feel like people are like thinking Neo, like
Oh, the one.
The Matrix.
Which I guess that nickname would have made more sense for Xbox then. The
Yeah, I
one.
know, right?
Neo,
The
the
one.
one. Yeah. But if they're calling it the 1-2, then is that like a 1-2 punch at PlayStation? Like a
Maybe.
jab at PlayStation?
Right, yeah, the Slim, the one. My thing is
I'm
like
just gonna say it like that.
the
Pulling the
Xbox One,
crystal.
the
Yeah.
Xbox One 2. Really?
Yeah.
Just
Like
call it the fuck.
that's
Just
like
call it
the
Xbox
new
2.
new
The new
3DS
new
XL.
Nintendo
Yeah.
3DS. Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like that.
Can we stop
No,
with
no,
the stupid naming conventions, please? Just
right?
call it the Xbox 720. The Xbox
So
10.
yeah,
Fucking call it the Xbox 1080. I'd be like, cool. I'm okay with that.
right?
Because I hate
The
having to be
fucking
like, oh, I got
the
my
box.
Xbox, and then people are like 360 or one, and I'm like one.
You take a guess.
Yeah, like
Take
wouldn't
a
I have
guess.
said wouldn't I have just said 360?
360? Yeah. Come on, man. I ain't got time for this.
Yeah, no, ain't nobody got time for that. So okay, so here we go. Let's take a look at this last. Oh no, this isn't the last paragraph. This is just a break because of a bar graph of some kind. Science. Xbox One is believed to operate at a peak target of 1.32 teraflops. PS4 is 1.84, but some documents secured by a guy at Giant Bomb and corroborated by sources. PlayStation 4 Neo is likely to have a peak of 4.14, and the Microsoft Scorpio is going to be 6. See, my thing is approximate. Just when the real numbers come out, I'll care.
Yeah, exactly.
What you're
Don't
telling me is
like
that it's going to be really powerful, and that's great.
right.
Um,
It's cool and all, but come on.
my whole thing is like
Come on.
even like, and like this is just coming from my experience with Xbox One, and it's not my primary console. I don't use it that much. My whole issue is that for what the Xbox One is, it feels so underpowered. But it has a lot of horsepower under the hood, right? And we talked about this before because I talked about like the comparison of like my Alienware i3 and versus like my Xbox One, and it's like that's a computer doing way more stuff than the Xbox is because
The
the
next,
Xbox
yeah.
is a and it's not that the Xbox One isn't doing nearly as much stuff, but the Xbox One isn't a computer, right? Everything is controlled. That whole environment when I'm using it is designed, and it's like the menus are so slow, they're clunky. Nothing, everything takes forever.
Yeah.
Um,
Stop.
trying to
Shit.
use the Twitch app on Xbox is miserable. Trying to stream from the PS4 is so easy. But at the same time, I like snapping apps. Except snapping apps on the Xbox, again, same thing. It's like the machine lags
Same.
so much, and it's like
Yeah.
so the fact that this new Xbox is going to be way more powerful, I hope means that I get a smoother experience because
Oh yeah.
I
Better
don't have the
user
same
interface as well.
issue, where people complain about 720p versus 1080p. I don't care. I
I,
really
I don't care.
don't.
Yeah.
Like, yes, Uncharted 4 1080p 60 looks amazing. Uncharted
Mhm.
Collection 1080p 60 frames looks amazing. Rocket League looks amazing. Like, I understand where the merits come from, but like when you play Drive Club, which is 1080 30, locked at 30, like Drive Club still looks amazing too,
Yeah.
you know? And I've played Halo 5. Halo 5 looks great, you know? The Master Chief Collection actually looked pretty good in comparison to what it was
What it was.
originally.
Yeah.
The Anniversary Collection is amazing for Halo 2. But, all I really want is to have my experience be smoother and less frustrating.
Yeah.
So if that's what I'm getting from this new machine, cool.
Sweet.
Um, colloquially referred to internally as Xbox One 2. At this year's E3 or a last-minute event just prior to the LA convention. It's weird.
Pressure to announce.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So wait.
I wouldn't see it as pressure. That
Well, but it does. If
wouldn't necessarily
PS4
be
is
a bombshell, but
But it is pressure for Microsoft because PS4 has been beating
uh,
them since release, and now
yeah.
they're saying, "Hey, we're going to release an even better PS4."
If
Which
they
just
wanna,
it just increases the gap between
that's true.
Xbox One and PS4. So
PS4. Yeah.
now they are going to probably have to, start cranking out. And my guess is what they're going to do is what Microsoft does: throw a shit ton of money at it because they can. And they're
It's
going to
true.
throw a ton of money at it. They're going to make something that hopefully is really awesome, and everybody wins in this situation. Like, this isn't a
Hope
Xbox is better than PlayStation 4. Forget that. Stop. Throw that out the window.
it's
Throw
true.
that out the window. Throw some
It's
matches on
trash.
it and burn that shit.
Yeah,
Stop
it's trash.
stop fighting. Like, if you like Xbox, play Xbox. If they're going to
Hmm.
make a more powerful Xbox, that means you get a much better experience playing games.
It's true.
Doesn't mean that
It's true.
PS4 sucks. It doesn't mean anything. And if the PS4 comes out and the PS4 Neo or 4K, whatever, 4.5 is better than the new Xbox One 2, like, again, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Both consoles are getting an improvement. So anyone that enjoys either one is going to hopefully enjoy it more.
Right? And everyone that wanted 4K, here you go. Stop bitching.
Right.
You're getting whatever
Yeah, you're
4K
getting
experience you
4K.
want.
You're not going to get 4K gaming because that
No,
would
no, no,
probably be
no.
the next generation. Like, that would
Yeah.
probably be another generation.
Generation, yeah.
Because the only way
But,
to do that would the development has to change too. And it's like
your movies, shows, whatever, you get your 4K now.
My other thing too with 4K is I wonder if the development timeline increases just because of the amount of time it takes, right? Because when you think, and again, this is a question better left for a developer, but
It's true.
if you're working with a max of 512 megs like the PS3 for RAM, and you can only make your assets look so good as you can, like The Last of Us being my example. And then all of a sudden you're like, hey, yo, you got 8 gigs. You got 8 gigs of RAM and a beast processor now.
Yeah.
You can spend more time making sure your assets are even more beautiful, right?
Beautiful.
So it takes
Yeah.
longer to make it. So now if you tell me I have the ability to work in 4K, that means my resolution on the stuff that I'm creating, it's got to take more time to sculpt
I'd
things
imagine,
and make
yeah.
them look better. So 4K video gaming could be a gift and a curse because now when you want games like Metal Gear, well, I mean, we're not getting another Metal Gear Solid probably.
Ah.
When you, hey man, someone's got to be the bad guy. But when you get a game like Grand Theft Auto 5, or you get a game like Uncharted or Last of Us 2, whatever, the next thing that Naughty Dog works on, or Bend, or the next, if there's a Quantum Break 2. The next Halo, right? It's whatever this, Guardians 2, Halo 6, whatever they're going to call it.
Yeah, whatever.
Bungie 2. Destiny 2, right?
Whatever, reminds me of Bungie 2.
Yeah,
Fuck it.
Bungie 2. If those games are going to now be in 4K, does that mean we have to wait even longer to get them?
Maybe, but my thing with that is, I don't care if it looks better, if it plays better.
Then
Sweet.
you're in.
I'm in. So I'm sold.
Yeah.
Because if you have that time to, you know, configure your engine and make everything work the way they want it to, take as much time as you need. Don't take, you know, too much time, but tweak it to where they feel okay, the gamers are gonna like it this way, and then we'll whatever patch it later, whatever.
No, don't say patch it later. Don't you don't you don't you
You
dare.
know they're going to. You
You
know
know
they're
I'm
going to.
tired of day one patches. I don't care. Like,
Oh, I don't want a day one patch. I mean, just like, oh, hey, we forgot to put this in. We'll patch it in later.
I
Wait,
hate that.
never mind. If they have the dev time, okay, do it.
Yeah, I mean, because my whole thing is like, and that's again another thing that people would be like, oh, we're gonna release it at 1080p,
That's true.
and
Yeah. Why did
4K
you put it in
4K
first time?
4K support is coming later, right? And I wonder if that's not a thing that might be how it works. Who knows? Um, interesting quandary question, query. Hmm?
Well,
This article is really long, by the way. I'm
yes.
still scrolling. Xbox head
Okay,
Phil
the rest just seem to be
Spencer
quotes.
suggested possibility of new Xbox hardware. Um,
Okay, play your PC games.
hardware innovation. I don't have to jump a generation and lose everything that I played before.
Which I'm okay with Microsoft doing that.
Yeah, I'm okay with I don't mind backwards
You
compatibility, and I think it
shouldn't have to pay for something you previously owned.
owned. Yeah, that's my thing with like PS4K, right? If they give you a
So
new console and all of a sudden they're like, by the way, your old games don't work on it.
yeah, don't work. Like, well,
That's
thanks, buddy.
frustrating. But it's equally as frustrating if the new games don't work on my old console, because
Exactly.
it's still technically like, yeah, I get the whole like next gen, current gen thing, like because the PS4 is now current gen, but like
Yeah.
4K really isn't next gen when it's like just a teensy bit better. It's like when you buy a new truck, and it's like you buy a 2015,
Hmm.
and then in 2016 they released the 2016 model, and it's
Right.
basically the same thing, but like they
Same.
re-sculpted the hood, and you're like, fuck, it looks a little sexier on the outside, but the interior is exactly the
Yeah.
same, and I'm like,
Right.
I kind of want the
Maybe
new
like
one
two
though.
new bells and whistles, but everything
Yeah,
else is basically the
or
same.
like now featuring a faster dropping window.
Yeah. You get a fucking new cup
Yeah,
holder.
exactly. Featuring two new cup holders that are concealable. If you'd like, you just close them and then you don't have to look at them. Uh, that kind of stuff does aggravate me, and I'm the type to
Yeah.
just not upgrade, right? Like when I get a phone, if they come out with the
Oh
new one a day later or a month later, I'm not just gonna be like, let me trade this thing in and just get it,
no,
because
that's
I don't want to take a
what
beating.
happened.
I don't want to take a beating on the price of the piece of hardware I paid for
Right. You
to
just
get the
got
new
yeah.
just to get the new one that's only a little bit better. Like I hate having to pay to be on top of the curve, and I understand that that's how it works.
Right. But still, it's just like
But I don't want to
nope.
do it. I'm just not going to do it. And that,
Not
unfortunately for me, means I get a lesser experience because I can't play
right.
those and potentially, and it's all hypothetical. Maybe the systems play the same games and it's just a V.
Right.
And what someone said, and I don't remember who it was, and I wish I could because I'd love to give them the credit. They were like, "What if the new version of the PS4 just has the VR stuff built into it,
Oh
right?"
yeah.
And
Hmm.
it's just that instead of we're gonna have the little box, maybe the PS4K just has it physically built into the hardware.
Done. Yeah.
Because maybe they took the time and they figured out how to redesign the circuit boards, and we've already
Hmm.
seen the second generation of the current PS4 where it's less heat and less electricity
Let's
because
see.
they changed the RAM chipset on the board. Maybe they found a way to make it fit inside.
Maybe.
So if that were the case, I'd be like, that's actually a really smart idea, and
Yes. Exactly.
doesn't totally pain the 37 million of us who own PS4s and
Hmm.
maybe have to get a new one.
Right.
Um, I
Because
don't
then you're
like
basically what? Just getting the headset.
right. You just
That's
get
it.
that. You'd
You'll
get
just need the headset.
the
Yeah.
headset thingy, with
Yeah.
and like
That's all you
you
need.
need a cam. You need the PS4 camera and
Oh yeah.
and
Camera.
some move controllers
Boots, yeah.
for the games that are
Which
move controller only. But
yeah. Either way,
um,
that'll work.
yeah,
That'll do, pig.
yep. So it's a really lengthy article, and the Kotaku one is equally. Well, it's not as is probably
It's just a little bit shorter.
it's a little bit shorter. Um, And then the other article, which is from Kotaku, Jason Schreier, maybe.
Schreier.
I don't know. I think it's Schreier. Um,
Hmm.
it's official. No
Yeah.
Man's Sky delayed to August, which isn't. It wasn't it June? Supposed to come out in June.
June, like 26th or something like that.
Yeah, so it's like it got delayed like 2 or 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't see is that bad. I mean, Uncharted was pushed back.
No,
The
yeah.
Last of Us had been pushed back.
You, if you need to polish it, make sure it's polished.
Yeah. I mean, for me,
Wax that motherfucker like at it.
for me, I'm a straight up say I don't give a shit
Don't
about
really
this
care.
game
Yeah,
anymore.
exactly.
It's
Might be number 9.
well, yeah. Oh my god, that's another one I need to pull up
Fuck
an
that
article
game.
about.
Game.
Like my thing is the people who are sending death threats to Sean Murray and stuff.
That's
And
a bit much.
I think
That's
absurd.
Yeah.
We're talking about like 2 weeks. Like your life does not like if he had said 6 months, I can understand you being upset.
But even
Not death
then,
threat.
I still wouldn't say death threats though.
Like
Just
no,
be like,
not
hey,
death threat upset, but I can see you being visibly upset over 6 months.
Angry,
This is like 2 weeks, 3 weeks max.
You'll find some new games to play.
And my whole thing is that I don't know if it's because people are really excited about this game, and because this is like their first game, that people don't have a stake in saying let the ball fall where it lies, right? Like I've said this about Naughty Dog all the time. And I would say it about Bungie too. Or 343 they don't get a pass, but Bungie does. If they told me they needed extra time to build Destiny 2, I would say I would say take it only because I trust Bungie because of Halo, and we've had this experience with Halo. And then even as far as Destiny, when you think about it, if we'd given them more time when Destiny first came out, we might have gotten
a different game.
The Taken King. Well, not the Taken. We might not have gotten the Taken King, but we might have got the Dark Below instead of just the vanilla Destiny, right? Like we would have. It might have had something more to it that would have captivated people, whereas we felt like we didn't get what we expected. That said, I think Bungie has done a fantastic job releasing content for Destiny. But if they told me they needed more time for Destiny 2, I would be like, you know what? I'll give it to you because of what you ended up giving us out of Destiny 1. So I trust that you're taking the time to use it wisely and create additional content. Much like when Naughty Dog said we needed more time for Uncharted 4 to finish it and polish it, I said, you know what? You did this with The Last of Us, and you fucking delivered. So, I trust your judgment. I understand where you're coming from. Take the time and make the game. My problem is that No Man's Sky looks awesome on the surface, but then once I started seeing more and more about it, and it was like, oh, this game is so big, you'll never run into your friends. Right? And I'm just like, why do I want to play this game then? I want to fly around space with my homies.
Yeah, I want to see my friends.
I want to be like X-Wing battles.
Right? Trying to get space bitches with homeboys.
Yeah, space bitches. I was just about to make a Spaceballs joke that's totally not safe for work. And
we don't have to.
Yeah, exactly. So, basically, the game is coming off to a point where like it's so big and it's so expansive that it's less of a multi-person experience and like a single-person experience, and I'm just not as into it.
Right.
Especially when like the initial kind of interpretation I got from the game is that it's you have the ability to claim space for yourself. And,
right. Yeah.
And like the game is so big, you may never actually get to like the center of the universe or whatever. And
part of me wants to call bullshit on that, but obviously,
right. I think at the same time, how many people
really looked much. So.
Right. How many people are setting up PS4s to straight up just have the controller flying straight towards the center of the universe, and they'll just leave it on forever.
2 days off to do this.
So
I don't know. Well,
my whole thing is that I've just gotten to a point where the game looks amazing and it seems really cool, but
it's not your jam.
I don't think it's for me anymore. The more I see it, so
Fair
like
enough.
I'm upset that it's delayed because I really want to see what other
I
people do
do.
with the
Yeah,
game, but at the same time, like I wasn't like holding my breath, anxiously waiting.
yeah. I'm like
Um,
cool, but
yeah. So, but at the same time, like I think death threats are fucking stupid, and I think you're an
no.
asshole if
Yeah,
you do it.
that's very
Like
atrocious.
I just I can't fathom being like I'm gonna send you a death threat because you made a game and you're taking
It's
too
also
long.
who's to say it's the devs themselves that wanted the time? It could be Sony saying, "Hey, we don't like this. We want you to change it,"
Right, or just the fact that like maybe certification took longer,
or that. Yeah,
or
that
maybe
too.
there were like maybe there was a delay in the factory where they're making the discs or where they're making the spaceship thing that you get with the special edition, right? Like it could be simple as
True.
like, hey, the T-shirt manufacturer for the T-shirts we're giving away with all the pre-orders, they're not going to be ready for another week.
Yeah.
You know,
So we
like
need to. Yeah.
they could be stuck in a container ship hauling its ass across the like Pacific Ocean right now, and just it's not going to get here, right? It could be held up in
Yeah.
customs. Um,
True.
you know, there's ton because well, and that's based on the assumption that it's not made in the United States, which is probably a fair assumption. I'm not
Probably.
just. I'm
Yeah.
just. I'm
No,
pretty
no,
sure
no.
I can make an educated guess that it's not being made in the United States. But,
I've literally
um,
seen stickers on discs that say "Made in Mexico."
right. So, uh,
But yeah,
my whole thing
it's
is that I just think people. I think because we live in this digital age where there's instant downloads, instant gratification, all this and that, like the second you tell someone, "Hey, you're just going to have to wait a little bit." Like people
right.
lose their minds and it's absurd. And I don't know. But
Those comments, though.
here's the thing. Yeah, I was just about to say um the first comment that's up on
BR.
BRR Brazil. Yeah, Brazil.
Yeah. Oh,
I'll
yeah.
read this comment. This irritates the shit out of me, largely because I think they came out and admitted it because you reported on it and people started asking. I kind of wish they had just announced it when it became apparent. I don't mind delays in general, but I do mind when companies don't own up to it. Be upfront, and I'm extremely likely to say, damn, but I guess it will be worth the wait. Now, with that being said, don't delay No Man's Sky again. That would basically end its hype. Um, and then Jason Schreier actually replied to that person
Oh, yeah.
within like 20 minutes.
Hmm.
That was 5:27, so that was 2 days ago. Worth
2
noting,
days
they
ago.
announced it at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Friday night of Memorial Day
World
weekend.
War II. Good.
In most cases, it's how you bury the story. In this case, think background, blah 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 blah. Reddit. Yeah, something on Reddit. Oh yeah. People put the Reddit. Oh, that's right. You give me the link to the Reddit. Oh, I lost it.
Yep. Which there was lax of it, but
Yeah, the whole Reddit
uh,
thread's a bit of a mess, anyways.
yeah, yeah. Oh, Jason commented.
He
He replied to
commented
someone
on
else
the yeah.
too.
He replied to the thing on that. He replied to a few things, um, but it's just I don't know. I sit here and I'm just like, yo, relax. The game's gonna
Even he
come.
got death threats.
The game's gonna. Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing I don't get. I just
I
um,
love video games, but I can wait.
like even
Like
if like if somebody said to me, right, like let's say like Neil Druckmann sends me a message and he's like, listen, I've banned your PS4 from downloading Uncharted 4 because I
right?
want you to wait to play the game. I would be like, really?
Thank you.
And then I would be like, ugh, damn it. And then I would just wait.
Yeah.
I don't think I
Well,
would. I don't think
you
I
can be
would.
angry, but
I don't think I would threaten him. I don't think I would threaten his
nah.
life.
Yeah, no. I always like, wait, can I play some other shit? Do I have to
Can I play the
wait for just
multiplayer?
Uncharted?
Can I like? Is this like? Can
Yeah.
I just download the multiplayer? Like you can. Come on, bro.
Shit,
Uh,
bruh.
you know, I don't know, and it would, and like it's funny that the Kotaku guy getting slammed and Sean Murray
Yeah.
getting slammed was that Zangold, he developed Zanbot and he works at Twitch or whatever, and he had tweeted. Let me pull this up real quick. He tweeted something. I think it was last night. It was like how not to get help 101, and it was where is it? Here it is. So somebody had tweeted him something, and basically the gist of what I could gather is that some Twitch caster got banned, and he wanted them to get unbanned, and so he, I only see like a portion of the Twitter DMs that he screenshotted and posted, and Zangold's basically saying that I can't just unban a person who's been banned by Twitch, and you know we're. That's not how it works, right? You don't just like Twitter DM me and like your friend gets unbanned or whatever. And then the kid replied, "Who has Twitter that works for Twitch? Give me their shit." And then the guy says, "I'm blocking you. Please seek help in the ways I've already told you numerous times to," which most likely is like contact Twitch support or whatever, have them file a claim with Twitch legal, I'm sure. And the kid replied with, "Kill yourself." Now, here's the kicker. I replied to that tweet and was like, "Gee," and all I put was Jesus, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's a ridiculous response to go to, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you didn't get what you want, so you're like, "Give me another person," and then they're like, "Okay, well, I'm done with you," and your response is, "Kill yourself." And then the kid replied to me on Twitter and said tried to basically explain what had happened, but I only saw the start of the tweet on my phone, like it popped up on my notifications, and when I opened my Twitter to go to it, he'd already deleted the tweet.
Ugh.
So I'm like,
so you're backpedaling now.
If you're tweeting at a person who has no, like, I don't work for Twitch, I have no stake in this. I simply saw the tweet and was like, damn, that's an overreaction. You need to relax. And you tweet at me, which means you happen to be paying attention to the Twitter thread to begin with, because you weren't added on it. He wasn't added on this Twitter thread. You then tweet at me, and then delete the tweet. kind of making me feel like you knew you were in the wrong. And like I don't think his tweet was offensive or nasty to me. I think because it basically said something like
he just kind of explained
like I'm trying to get my friend unbanned, and then there was a parentheses, and then there was more text, and then it did the ... and I was like, oh well, what I'm interested. I don't I can't do anything about it. I don't have any affiliation with Twitch at all, so I just I just find it interesting. Which then led me into this streamers who'd been banned recently. Legendary Leah or Lee, I don't know how you pronounce her name. Like, she got banned because she flashed her naughty bits accidentally. And, being someone who's, I do my research. It turns out there is an NSFW gallery of every time she's had, like, an accidental slip. Where, like, so I don't know how people are grabbing the screen images, unless she archives her broadcast or something, but, and I was like, this is hilarious. That because I was an article that some like independent news site had posted about, like, oh, so and so streamer gets banned again.
So this is a reoccurring issue.
Yeah, this person has has accidentally pushed the scales of what is probably showing too much. And I get that Twitch has said multiple times before the low cuts and the I know you can't, I know for a fact you can't show feet.
Nope.
And you can't show nipples. So guys can't flex them. I can't flex my gains on Twitch, which is really disappointing.
No gains on Twitch.
Nope, no gain. I mean, I can do my guns, but
what about YouTube?
YouTube, I think you probably can. Under the assumption that I've seen people like shirtless at videos on YouTube, so
all kinds of games.
All kinds. So basically the short end of this is I don't get why people react so harshly to stuff. Like you tweeted at somebody that you probably found on Twitter and were like, oh, this guy says he works at Twitch. Unban my friend. And they're like, yeah, that's not how it works. Like, sorry. Nope. And then you're just like, kill yourself.
That's not going to get you any help.
Yeah.
Not at all.
So chill, bruh.
Yeah,
Um,
come on, man.
come on, man. Dang old propane accessories. Uh, dang old Twitch, man. It's a dang old video game streaming. People need to just.
Chill out.
And this is coming from somebody who's like who gets angry. I get angry. Like you wouldn't like me
Mm-hmm.
when I'm angry, and that's not like me. Oh, and then like when I
Kind
get,
of Hulk out.
yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
I
You
Hulk out a little
kind of
bit.
straight up Hulk out.
Cause it's and it's like the problem is I'm always right, and it's not it's not even so much that I'm always right, but like I never really have crazy expectations.
Mm-hmm.
I tend to give people the benefit of the doubt, and at this point, I'm finding that I should just assume that everyone is not worth giving the benefit of the doubt to. I should,
fucking
I should
idiot.
just, I should just assume that everybody doesn't understand anything, and then just start by attempting
Fair,
to explain it.
fair assessment, I'd
Um,
say.
at least in my current, close level of personal interaction.
Right.
Because it's like so many times I'll do something and then be like, yeah, of course you would do it this way. Why would you do it any other way?
Yeah. Why would you do it that way?
It's the whole like common sense isn't very common thing,
Mm-hmm.
which is unfortunate. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's like
Just,
this was gonna be a short podcast anyways, and
mhm.
I'm thinking like that I don't have much else to say other than like people need to relax. You need to chill.
Chill out.
You need to stop sending death threats to people who are painlessly working away making the games that you enjoy
Yeah. They can just
because
tomorrow be like, well,
because
cool.
they need more time. And the reality is they're in a catch-22 situation. If they release the game now and it sucks, you're going to send them death threats because you're going to be like, I waited 2 years for this game and I paid $60. This game sucks.
Right.
But if they delay it to make it better so that you get a great quality thing or a good quality, I mean, whatever the game ends up being, like, so you get a better version of the thing because they needed a little bit more time, you crucify them anyways.
Yeah.
So effectively what I'm learning is that you're unsatisfied unless they hand it to you, it's free, they give you $1 million, they send you across the world, and they give you a house in Monaco and a Maserati.
Jeez.
And then you'll complain because they gave you like a blue one and not a green one, and green is your favorite color, and they should know that green is your favorite color and not blue.
You literally just hit the nail in the coffin.
Like so many,
Like,
like so I don't get it. Like you're upset if they delay the game so they can make it better, and you're upset because they won't. And you'd be upset if they released the game and it sucked.
yeah.
It'd be like if the like when you're sitting in the waiting room at a hospital, and like
Mm-hmm.
your loved one of some kind is in getting surgery, and the doctor comes out and you're like, "What's the news?" Right? You're like hoping for good news, and he's like, "Listen, I can sew him up right now, and he'll probably die, or I can go back in there and work tirelessly with a team of medical professionals
Mm-hmm.
for like another 3 hours, and he might have a fighting chance." Right? And
Right?
you'd probably be like, well, take your time. Do your thing.
Yeah.
Why do you not give developers that time?
That's true. Very true.
Like, the only parallel to that is if a game releases now and it is in really bad shape, the game dies. Air quote
Yeah.
dies, right? Because the game just
Yeah.
falls flat because everyone's like, I'm not playing this.
Mm-hmm. Right?
The only case I will say where that doesn't really apply is a game like Drive Club, because Drive Club sadly took over a year to release, and then when it did release, it had a very poor launch, and then it kind of picked up traction and sold 2 million. It sold 2 million copies, which is really good, and then Evolution ended up having to fold anyways.
Yeah.
Which could have been because of outside forces. It could have been because maybe they just ran into some other stuff or whatever. But
right.
either way, like, yeah, if Sean Murray's asking for like 3 weeks, he's not asking for a year.
No. Yeah.
With and not providing you with any information, right? Like he's so close to the deadline, they're probably working 18-hour days or 20-hour days or whatever, and just cranking away at this thing. And then they're like, someone's like, "Yo, this thing isn't going to be done in time." Right? Because they have to be able to get the discs printed, and they can't get the discs printed until they have the finished version. Otherwise, they do have to do day one patches.
Right?
You
Plus,
know?
also this kind of also stems back to I think it was a some one of the devs' wife wrote a letter basically saying, "Hey, give our fucking husbands and wives time to fucking recharge. They shouldn't have to make a game for you every single goddamn day."
Right.
So, these
Yeah.
people have lives too, They can't just sit there
Yeah.
tirelessly, effortlessly trying to fix it for you, you know.
Right. It's like the development beards thing. You see these people, they literally change. Right. They go gray over this stuff.
It's stressful
Yeah.
because obviously they want to fix it, but at the same time they know they can't because
Well, they
they
can't
have
fix it.
other
And
things they need to.
Rome wasn't built in a day, right? And they still got kids that are growing up. They could have a newborn at the start of development who's 3 years old when a game comes out, when it finally releases, right?
Right? I
You
forget
know?
what game, but there is one that I thought that had like, here's all the babies that were born during
Right.
development.
Yeah, I think that there's a couple games that are like that. Um, and then only because to touch base, and this will be the last thing that we talk about to touch base. That the Mighty Number Nine. Holy
Oh,
crap!
oh,
The more I hear about how unfortunate the Mighty Number Nine thing is going, is the more I just think about. I really hope people know that 20XX is a game by Battery Staple Games, and it's a Mega Man roguelike, and it's super awesome, and you should go play that while you
yeah.
wait for Mighty
If you
Number
want,
Nine
yeah,
to
if you want
come
your
out.
Mega Man fix, go play that because for one, it has
Uh,
co-op
it does have co-op.
and it's fucking.
And it has kick-ass music
Yeah.
and games and challenges, and
What
it's
you think you
fun.
want in a Mega Man game?
Yeah. Um,
Play right now.
but yeah, oh man, Mighty Number Nine. I feel worse. I feel worse about Mighty Number Nine because so many people bought into that Kickstarter, and it's just that's a lot of money that people shelled out hoping to get something. But then it's like, but then I look at the other like Kickstarters, right? The Fable thing.
Oh yeah,
What is that? Peter Molyneux.
Peter Molyneux or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah, and like his whole thing, and he's like, we're still making the game, and it's
and
like,
now,
and you're just like,
uh,
I think at that
yep,
point I would agree with the people who say they want their money back.
yeah,
Um,
just you know,
because it's
you
just
wait all this time, and
yeah. I
it's
mean, and there's
just.
a difference between if you were constantly providing people with updates and telling them, hey, we ran into
Mhm.
this, we ran into that, like, and they understood the process of like that's I think that's the unfortunate thing that needs to be a part of the kind of the purchase agreement with Kickstarter, right? Like
Mhm.
once something is kickstarted, I think that if constant updates aren't being met by the Kickstartee, or
Right.
the Kickstarter, I don't know, the person who starts the Kickstarter, right? The person who's receiving the funds. If there aren't
Yeah.
constant like updates about the progress of whatever the Kickstarter is, I think that there should be at a point where people can then um, maybe request to get
Uh,
their money back, which is weird
yeah.
because then it means like a game is being funded, but at the same time, like they, it puts some pressure on some of these people to at least be forthcoming with the issue, because I mean if a game development project just ends up in the garbage
Mhm.
and at least you knew why it ended up there and you watched it all happen, you'd be like, oh well, you know I guess I'm out the money that I put into it.
Right.
To a certain extent, I think some people would be like, whatever. But I think then there's people who spend lots of money on certain
Oh.
backer rewards, and then they'd be like, I'm never going to get the thing that I put in for. I'm
Right.
entitled to that. That's what I paid for. It's one of the reasons why I've kind of always just I I think Kickstarter's awesome, and I think
Mhm.
it's also scary as hell for the
Right.
people
If
for the
they're
people doing it, right?
quote unquote done right, I guess, because there's
Yeah.
the ones that like they just took the money and left.
Right, the person who did the card game thing in like Washington or Oregon, and then it just
Yeah.
never happened.
Yeah.
And then he actually had to pay out. He had to pay out money because I guess in Oregon or Washington, whichever state it was, they have a law that basically says like you have to deliver on
You're.
the binding of the binding agreement or whatever. And so like he had to pay out refunds to people. But
Good.
like in other states, basically, it's considered that people gave you the
Once
people
you,
people have
yeah,
given you the money, so you're not entitled to get it back, even if the project goes south. And I think in some
right,
cases that's fair, as long as you can, as long as it's apparent that the money was faithfully used,
right,
right?
yeah,
Like it
right,
wasn't
right,
like the dude who was like living off of it.
yeah,
It's like if it was really, if it's really pound for pound, all the effort went into it, and the game just didn't get finished, or it's in like a current state, but you can see that your money went towards something. It's unfortunate
mhm,
you don't get the full version and the vision that person had. It doesn't come to fruition, but I think that's certainly better than you putting into a Kickstarter and getting absolutely
and,
nothing out of
yeah,
it.
getting squat, yeah,
So I feel for the people working on the Mighty Number Nine project, because I think they're going to get the same kind of crap that Sean Murray's getting, and they probably already are.
I'd imagine.
But
Do
yeah, 20XX Battery Staple Games,
it.
and Firehose Games, which is out of Boston, Cambridge.
Nice.
They're helping work on the game too. So that's something that you should look into if you're looking for a Mega Man game. With that,
Hmm.
I'm just gonna go ahead and stop, because
Oh yeah,
uh,
I think we went past what we thought we were gonna do.
yeah, and just the whole, you know, don't freak out when games get delayed. It happens. It's life.
Just
Trust me.
relax.
Like, you ever tried to go home and then all of a sudden there was a traffic jam? Like, maybe you lean on your horn, maybe you don't, but like you probably don't get out and like smash somebody's window with a
Yeah,
tire
you're not gonna
iron.
pull a gun out and just start shooting.
It ain't GTA. It's not GTA. You're not just
No.
drive through all the cars and then like do
Yeah.
the up down down left right
Yeah.
square X whatever, and then the
Let people
cops just
cheat. Yeah.
disappear.
Yeah.
Um,
It doesn't work like that. It
so
doesn't work like
just be a little civil to your fellow gaming compadres.
that. Mm-hmm.
And with
Hmm.
that, that'll be it for episode 70 of the Disconnected Gamers podcast. You can find us on Twitter at the DGCast. You can find me on Twitter at So After I Said, Mike at mtong1. You can find us on YouTube at youtube.com/c/the DGCast. You can find us on twitch.tv/DGCastTV.
Yeah.
And with that, episode 70 comes to a close. And we will
Mm-hmm.
catch you
Mm-hmm.